Love true crime? These books dig deep into real murders, cold cases, and chilling mysteries that will stay with you long after the last page. Truman Capote's In Cold Blood is widely credited with pioneering the modern true crime genre. It reconstructs the brutal 1959 murder of the Clutter family in Kansas with novelistic detail. Readers often praise its elegant prose and journalistic integrity, though some criticize it for blurring fact and fiction. It remains a powerful, haunting exploration of motive and consequence. And Rules the Stranger Beside Me is uniquely terrifying, not just for its account of Ted Bundy's crimes, but because Rule knew him personally. The book's tension lies in her gradual realization of Bundy's nature. Admirers commend her honesty and thoroughness, though some find the personal inserts distracting. Still, it remains a landmark in true crime literature. Michelle McNamara's I'll Be Gone in the Dark chronicles her obsessive hunt for the Golden State Killer, blending memoir, investigation, and unfinished pursuit. The writing is intimate and suspenseful, and readers often describe it as unputdownable. Some feel the narrative is disjointed due to its posthumous completion, but most agree it's a testament to the power of citizen investigation. Vincent Bugliosi's Helter Skelter delves into the Manson murders with chilling precision. As the prosecuting attorney, Bugliosi offers unique insight into the case. Many praise the book's detail and structure, though others find the legal explanations overwhelming. It's often hailed as one of the best true crime books ever written. John Barrett's Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil blurs the line between true crime and Southern Gothic drama. Set in Savannah, it covers a murder trial, but is just as much about the eccentric characters and atmosphere. Readers love its lush setting and narrative voice, though purists sometimes wish it stuck more to the crime itself. Robert Coker's Lost Girls tells the heartbreaking story of the Long Island serial killer's victims, focusing not on the killer, but on the women society overlooked. It's a compassionate, incisive book that challenges victim blaming. While some wish it had more resolution, its heart lies in humanizing the forgotten. James Ellroy's My Dark Places is a raw, autobiographical investigation into the unsolved murder of Ellroy's mother. Part memoir, part noirish detective story, it unsettles with its candor and obsession. Readers praise its honesty and darkness, though some are put off by Ellroy's abrasive style. Still, it's a brutally personal descent into memory and crime. Eric Larson's The Devil in the White City weaves the true story of H.H. Holmes, a serial killer during the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, with the fair's architectural triumphs. The dual narrative is praised for its contrast of light and dark, though some feel the fair's history overshadows the crime. It's atmospheric, intelligent, and enduringly popular. Debbie Howells's The Bones of You takes fiction and colors it with true crime sensibility, following a journalist investigating the death of a teenage girl. Readers appreciate its psychological depth and layered narrative, though some find the pace slow. For many, it captures the emotional intricacies of trauma and secrets. Thomas Thompson's Blood and Money explores the complex relationships and motives behind a wealthy Texas woman's murder. The book dives deep into greed, betrayal, and Southern decadence. Readers are drawn in by its richness, though its density can be daunting. It's a classic example of character-driven crime storytelling. Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered is part memoir, part true crime commentary, based on their popular podcast. It balances humor and horror with personal stories and survival advice. Fans love the candidness and connection, while critics sometimes find it lacking in actual crime content. Still, it's a refreshing and empowering read. Becky Cooper's We Keep the Dead Close investigates the decades-old murder of a Harvard student and the institutional secrecy surrounding it. Part memoir, part cold case, the book is admired for its depth and determination. Some readers feel it wanders, but many are impressed by its thoroughness and feminist lens. Casey Sepp's Furious Hours follows Harper Lee's attempt to write a true crime book about a murderous preacher and his lawyer's courtroom heroics. It's beautifully written and multi-layered. Readers adore its literary focus, though some wish for more closure. It's as much about writing and justice as about crime. Alex Mar's 70 Times 7 to Sex, a brutal murder committed by a teenage girl, and the decades-long debate over forgiveness and punishment. Readers are torn between admiration for its compassion and discomfort with its moral ambiguity. It's a thoughtful, unsettling examination of justice. Makita Brotman's The Maximum Security Book Club documents her experience leading a book club in a Maryland prison. Through true crime memoir and literary commentary, she challenges assumptions about prisoners and punishment. Readers praise its empathy, though others find it more anecdotal than investigative. It's an unconventional but illuminating take on crime and redemption. Catherine Miles's Trailed. One woman's quest to solve the Shenandoah murders investigates the 1996 killings of two women in a national park. Combining memoir, journalism, and environmental commentary, it's gripping and thoughtful. Some readers desire more concrete conclusions, but many find it haunting and urgent. Carolyn Mernick's The Hot One explores the murder of her childhood friend and how their lives diverged. It's part memoir, part cultural analysis of victimhood and media. Readers admire its honesty, though some wish it focused more on the crime. It's raw, reflective, and deeply personal. Hallie Rubenhold's The Five reframes the Jack the Ripper narrative by telling the lies of the women he killed. Rejecting sensationalism, it humanizes them beyond their deaths. Readers call it groundbreaking and emotional, though some history buffs find it less focused on the killer. That's the point. It reclaims the story from violence. Walter Kern's Blood Will Out recounts his unsettling friendship with a man who turned out to be a con artist and murderer. It's chilling and surprisingly introspective. Readers love its psychological twists, though some find it lacks closure. It's more about deception than crime itself. Amanda Lindhout's A House in the Sky is the memoir of a journalist kidnapped and tortured in Somalia. Though not a murder case, it's a harrowing true crime of captivity and resilience. Readers are moved by her strength, though the violence is intense. It's a testament to survival. Delving into If You Tell by Greg Olson, we find a harrowing account of survival. This book centers on three sisters who endured years of unspeakable abuse at the hands of their own mother, Shelley Notek. The story is horrifying in its realism and emotional weight. Many readers praise Olson's respectful yet gripping style, appreciating the survivor-focused narrative. Others feel the subject matter is deeply disturbing and emotionally exhausting. But that's exactly what makes it impactful. In American Predator by Maureen Callahan, readers are introduced to Israel Keyes, one of the most methodical and terrifying serial killers in recent memory. Callahan lays out the investigation with chilling clarity. Fans love its meticulous structure and fast pacing, though some feel the book ends too abruptly, wishing for more psychological insight into Keyes. Still, it's widely considered one of the most disturbing modern true crime reads. The Fact of the Body by Alexandria Marzana-Lesnevich merges memoir and true crime, as the author confronts her own trauma while investigating the case of convicted murderer Ricky Langley. The writing is lyrical and emotionally complex. Readers who enjoy introspective, layered narratives find it powerful. Those expecting a straightforward case analysis may be surprised by its deeply personal lens, but many find that's what sets it apart. In Green River, Running Red, and Rule returns with the story of Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer. Her signature depth and attention to victims shine through. Readers praise the exhaustive research and sensitivity, though some find the pacing slow. Nonetheless, Rule's empathy and precision offer a sobering portrait of a monstrous case. In Say Nothing by Patrick Radden Keefe, the political becomes personal as he explores a notorious murder during the Northern Ireland Troubles. The book is part history, part crime, and part investigative journalism. Readers admire its gripping narrative and journalistic rigor. Some note the complex political context might overwhelm readers unfamiliar with the history. but Keefe's storytelling keeps it compelling. The Other Dr. Gilmer by Benjamin Gilmer begins with a physician discovering that his predecessor, also named Dr. Gilmer, is in prison for murder. What follows is a riveting investigation into mental illness and the criminal justice system. Many readers appreciate the compassionate lens and unexpected turns, though a few felt it lacked tension. Still, its focus on misunderstood diagnoses offers a fresh perspective. Bitter Blood by Jerry Bledsoe recounts a series of family murders in North Carolina involving inheritance, manipulation, and a mother's chilling control. It's a Southern Gothic tale brought to life with true crime grit. Readers love its detail and twisted storylines, though some find it long-winded. The complexity of the characters keeps many hooked. Mindhunter by John E. Douglas and Mark Alshaker, which inspired the Netflix series, offers an inside look at the FBI's early criminal profiling work. Douglas's accounts of serial killers are fascinating and terrifying. Fans of investigative process and behavioral psychology adore it, though some readers think Douglas's tone can border on self-congratulatory. Still, the insights are invaluable. Moving to The Spider and the Fly by Claudia Rowe. This book explores Rowe's correspondence with serial killer Kendall Francois while reflecting on her own life. It's deeply psychological and introspective. Some readers admire its honesty and depth, while others want more focus on the crimes. It walks the line between memoir and true crime. Missoula by John Krakauer investigates college campus sexual assault, focusing on cases from the University of Montana. Readers praise Krakauer's research and his empathy for survivors. Critics say the book is difficult to read emotionally and can feel repetitive, but its urgency and importance are undeniable. The Girls Are Gone by Michael Brodkorb and Allison Mann investigates the mysterious disappearance of two sisters caught in a brutal custody battle, wrapped in lies, manipulation, and court failures. Readers appreciate how the authors explain legal complexities without losing narrative tension. Some feel the pacing drags in the middle, but the real-life stakes keep it powerful. In Savage Appetites by Rachel Monroe, for women's relationships to true crime. Through roles like the detective, the victim, the defender, and the killer are examined with psychological nuance. Many praise Monroe's insight into why people, especially women, are drawn to crime stories. Others find it more thematic than personal, but it raises sharp cultural questions. Columbine by Dave Cullen is not just a chronology of the infamous school shooting. It's an in-depth dismantling of the myths and misreporting that surrounded it. Readers applaud Cullen's investigative rigor and sensitivity. Some struggle with reliving the trauma, but most find the book essential reading for understanding how narrative shapes perception. The Innocent Man by John Grisham, his only nonfiction book, explores wrongful conviction and prosecutorial misconduct in small-town Oklahoma. Grisham's legal background and storytelling make it accessible and engaging. While some critics think it leans towards sensationalism, many readers are outraged and enlightened by its portrait of a justice system gone wrong. My Friend Anna by Rachel DeLoach Williams tells the story of a fake heiress who scammed New York's elite, including the author herself. It's a gripping social crime tale full of glamour, deceit, and manipulation. Readers enjoy its insider perspective, though some feel the tone is privileged or superficial. Still, the psychological impact of being conned is clear. In Confessions of a Serial Killer by Katherine Ramsland, the chilling psyche of Dennis Rader, the BTK killer, is dissected through direct interviews. Ramsland's clinical expertise adds depth, and readers fascinated by forensic psychology find it absorbing. Others find Rader's manipulations unsettling and difficult to read, but that's what gives the book its edge. Killers of the Flower Moon by David Grann explores the Osage murders in 1920s Oklahoma, where wealthy Native Americans were systematically killed for their oil rights. The book combines investigative journalism and history with a powerful moral message. Readers praise the storytelling and injustice it exposes. Some note that the scope becomes broader than a single crime story, but that only enhances its weight. In The Family Next Door by John Glad, We uncover the Turpin family's abuse and imprisonment of their children in suburban California. It's a horrifying case told with sensitivity. Readers commend the reporting and structure, though some find it emotionally draining. It's a chilling reminder of how darkness can hide in plain sight. Don't F ***K with Cats by Alex Westwick, based on the Netflix docuseries, follows the crowdsource hunt for a killer who started by abusing animals online. Readers who appreciate internet sleuthing and digital detective work find it gripping. Some think the writing lacks polish, but the urgency and modern relevance carry it. In A Tangled Web by Leslie Rule, the twisted saga of a woman who faked pregnancies, stole identities, and committed murder unfolds over decades. Readers are stunned by the audacity and intricacy of crimes. A few feel overwhelmed by the number of characters and timelines, but the central story remains shocking. If you made it through these 40 stories, then you already know true crime isn't just about horror or headlines. It's about victims whose voices demand to be heard, systems that need scrutiny, and stories that reveal what people are capable of, both the worst and, sometimes, the most resilient. Whether you're drawn to courtroom drama, unsolved mysteries, or the chilling psychology of killers, these books offer not just suspense, but perspective. And we're just getting started. Stick around for the next batch of must-reads in this gripping journey into the heart of real crime. And if any title hit you hard, drop it in the comments. We want to know what stayed with you.